conference, kind of threw a democracy challenge to the government. What exactly was that? We're going to break it down. Let me take you through the headlines first. Rahul Gandhi says it is his right to respond to charges levelled by ministers inside Parliament. BJP hits back, reiterates on apology demand. Delhi police issues a notice to Rahul Gandhi over his women sexually assaulted in Jammu and Kashmir remark during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Rahul asked to provide details of victims to cops. After Liquorgate, trouble for Sisodia in Snoopgate. CBI files another FIR against former Delhi Deputy CM Arvind Kejriwal, lashes out at the BJP. K. Kavata skips ED summon in liquor scam probe. BRS MLC says cannot visit ED office as a woman. Asks officials to question her at home instead. ED ignores request, issues next summon for 20th March. B.S. Yediyurappa gherawed by BJP workers, forced to cancel Vijay Sankalp Yatra in Chikmagalur. Maharashtra Deputy CM's wife Amruta Fadnavis alleges bid to bribe her, accuses bookie and his daughter of trying to offer her 1 crore rupees seeking intervention in a criminal case. 2 pilots have been killed in Arunachal chopper crash. Cheetah helicopter had lost contact during operational sortie. First images of Russia's drone kill. US releases moments Russian jet struck the drone over the Black Sea. And viewers, the India Today conclave kicks off tomorrow with the biggest newsmakers and thought-provokers. Join us tomorrow through the course of the day for the most scintillating conversations as Prime Minister Modi also joins this thought platform on Saturday. Our top story, Rahul Gandhi has thrown a challenge to the Modi government, which has been demanding his apology for allegedly defaming India on foreign soil. The Congress MP has said he is ready to reply to the charges levelled by the BJP, but he will do so only in Parliament. And if he's not allowed to speak, then that pretty much reiterates what the point he's been trying to make abroad. Here's the full report.
The so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone.
Days after making a statement on the state of Indian democracy in the UK that has triggered a political firestorm in Parliament, Rahul Gandhi was back in the House on Thursday.
Rahul sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir.
Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think.
The Lok Sabha derailed by demands of an apology by Rahul for 4 days, wrapped up within seconds as the ruling BJP stuck to their guns.
आप बाहर जाकर चर्चा करते मौका नहीं देते सदन की कार्रवाई 2 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है.
An hour later, Rahul held a media briefing.
मेरे ऊपर आरोप लगाया है, हाउस में आरोप लगाया है, तो मेरा हक है कि मुझे पार्लियामेंट हाउस में अपनी बात रखनी देनी चाहिए. होपफुल हूं कि शायद कल मुझे बोलने दें, क्योंकि मैं अपनी बात रखना चाहता हूं. वो मुझे पार्लियामेंट हाउस में नहीं बोलने देंगे.
The Congress MP blamed Parliament logjam on BJP's nervousness over the Adani controversy.
पूरा मामला डिस्ट्रैक्ट करने का मामला है. सरकार और प्रधानमंत्री जो अदानी जी का मुद्दा है उससे डरे हुए हैं और इसीलिए उन्होंने ये पूरा तमाशा प्रिपेयर किया.
The BJP fired back within minutes.
आज उन्होंने प्रेस में ऐसी कोई बात नहीं की कि उन्हें खेद है जो उनके द्वारा कहा गया. बीजेपी का स्पष्ट आरोप है राहुल गांधी को माफी मांगना चाहिए.
राहुल गांधी, you
The Narendra Modi government, in fact, has fielded its top leaders throughout the week to make one charge that Rahul Gandhi has defamed India on foreign soil and he must apologize.
राहुल गांधी देश के सामने में और लोकसभा में आ करके माफी मांगना ही होगा, वरना हम लोग उसको तवज्जो नहीं देंगे।
देश का अपमान तो तब होता है जब आप चीन को क्लीन चिट दे देते हैं। इतिहास में पहली बार हो रहा है कि रूलिंग पार्टी संसद नहीं चलने दे रही। क्यों नहीं चलने दे रही? क्योंकि डर है कि संसद के भीतर रिंग मास्टर गोगो का कोई नाम नहीं ले ले। घबराहट इसी बात की है कि कहीं जेपीसी की मांग नहीं कर दे राहुल गांधी।
The Congress has rallied behind Rahul Gandhi. It has ruled out any apology by its leader. Now the question is, who will blink first, or will Parliament face another washout? Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so viewers, inside Parliament and outside Parliament, the BJP is adamant. They want an apology from Rahul Gandhi on his comments in the United Kingdom. Rahul Gandhi, in some way, threw a challenge to the government, saying that if I'm not allowed to speak tomorrow, then it practically reiterates the point that I have been making abroad on the UK soil, which is that democracy is in danger and Parliament is not allowed to function when it comes down to India. Well, let's take it to our panelists this evening. Joining me is Gaurav Gogoi, Congress MP, Sandeep Shastri, National Coordinator, Lokniti Network, Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs Editor, Syed Zafar Islam, Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. Gaurav Gogoi, I want to begin with you. With the press conference that Rahul Gandhi had today at about 3:30 p.m., he kept reiterating that he would want to answer in Parliament on the allegations, accusations, the demand for apology that has been made. In the midst of it, somewhere down the line, you had a Jairam Ramesh who leaned over and tried to correct him. Are the rest of Congress leaders a little less enthusiastic on what Rahul Gandhi said outside? Because Rahul Gandhi is defending it, Mr. Sam Patoda is defending it. Does the Congress actually stand by with what Rahul Gandhi said in the UK?
Preeti, I think the moment that media has captured between Jairam Ramesh and Rahul Gandhi is a very small moment in the larger gamut of what is happening inside Parliament. And it is a farce, because for the past 3 days, the BJP have been clamoring for Rahul Gandhi to appear in Parliament, for Rahul Gandhi to come to Parliament. Here comes Rahul Gandhi, and what happens? What Rahul Gandhi said in his speeches both here and outside was proved true. That for the last 3 days, all the country have been hearing is one BJP minister after the other hurling allegations, all false, all baseless. But when the time comes for the opposition leader, whose name they have been uttering in one after the other, when the time comes for him to speak, the mics are turned off. Now, clearly, this shows that the BJP, they really do not want the opposition leader Rahul Gandhi ji to speak, because again he will speak about from where did this all charade of the BJP begin. It began after Rahul Gandhi ji hurled all those facts at Prime Minister Modi, linking him to Gautam Adani and linking Prime Minister Modi's foreign policy to Gautam Adani's personal corporate profit. So I think the BJP stood badly exposed today, because their demand for Rahul Gandhi he was there, but then what do you want? So you might have a different opinion vis-a-vis Rahul Gandhi, what he said abroad. That's fine, that's your prerogative. I'm not taking away the BJP's right to have their own interpretation. But this is Parliament, this is not your party office. You cannot tell me what I have to say. This is Parliament, this belongs to everyone, all political parties are equal. If you have the right to make your political point, so do we have the right to make our political point. I heard what Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad has to say, and I'm frankly disappointed. This is not his party office. Who are they to tell us what we can say and not say? You had the right to say. You've been speaking for the last 3 days. For heaven's sake, allow the mics to be turned on. Do not prove to the world what Rahul Gandhi has been saying all this while, that you are running the Parliament.
Mr. Gogoi, as I'm going to open up the debate
when it suits you, turning off the mic when it
as I'm going to open up the debate, I'm going to ask you one question. Taking off from what you said, that there was a clamour for Rahul Gandhi to come to Parliament and apologise. Come to Parliament and apologise, and today he finally came. with due respect, Mr. Gogoi, the fact is Rahul Gandhi did no favor by turning up to Parliament. He's an MP. It's his duty to be in Parliament. So there was no clamour in that sort. He should be in Parliament. He should attend Parliament. I would reckon you get that because you're an MP yourself. On the other hand, the second question I want to ask you is pertaining to that small moment which was shared by Jairam Ramesh and Rahul Gandhi during that press conference. I'll tell you why it's not such a small moment and a bigger moment, because Jairam Ramesh seemed to tell Rahul Gandhi on to what exactly to say. It's kind of tutoring. Now tell me if I'm not wrong, because if somebody outside who's trying to listen into what Rahul Gandhi has to say and then hears him being tutored, really doesn't quite have the confidence in him.
Okay, Preeti. First of all, let us talk, let us point the question to the BJP in your first part. You said, as you said, the BJP have been clamoring. Rahul Gandhi came. He came as
you said that, Mr. Gogoi. I was quoting
you. And then what happened?
Go ahead.
Why did the BJP suddenly? Why did the BJP adjourn the House? Why did the BJP adjourn the House? Why were the mics of the opposition party switched off? Why for the past 3 days in the Lok Sabha, one after the other ministers are speaking and opposition leaders' mics are turned off? Clearly, the larger charade is that the opposition parties have been united and been since day one been asking for a joint parliamentary probe into the Adani group, and nothing has been done. In fact, yesterday, 16 political parties were prevented from the Delhi police from simply marching to the ED office. Okay, now the next point. Do you want to compare press conferences? Do you remember a press conference with Prime Minister Modi and at that time BJP President JP Nadda? Prime Minister Modi sat throughout the entire press conference. When finally a question was posed to him, when finally it was his turn to answer, what did he do? He just pointed to the president at that point of time, JP Nadda. So what if Rahul Gandhi ji listens to his leaders? I'd rather have a leader who listens to the council of senior advisors. Mr. Jairam Ramesh is an experienced politician. If at the time of Q&A, Rahul Gandhi ji is listening to a suggestion that Jairam Ramesh has had, what's wrong with it? It shows it's perfectly normal. I rather have a leader like him who takes counsel. I rather have a leader like Rahul Gandhi who for the past 10 days has taken questions from journalists, has taken questions from critics, has taken questions from students, has taken questions from parliamentarians. Please give me an example of Prime Minister Modi doing the same thing.
Well, okay, fair point. I want to now just cut across and bring in Syed Zafar Islam, a Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. Mr. Islam, if tomorrow Rahul Gandhi is not allowed to speak, doesn't it practically reiterate what he's been trying to say? All the charges that he's made on foreign soil when it comes down to a threat on democracy will stick, will be real, wouldn't they?
I feel like laughing when they say that there is a threat to democracy. When they were misusing Article 356, that time they never felt, and they always felt that it was a vibrant democracy. During emergency, they never felt that there is a threat to democracy. It was as if it was a vibrant democracy. Today, let me tell you very candidly, no matter which party is in the power, no matter which government is there, India is the mother of all democracies, and it will continue to be the most democratic nation in the world. Irrespective of what the opinion of the opposition, what the opinion of the government of the day, but democracy is vibrant in this country and will continue to be a vibrant democracy, and people should learn from the Indian democracy, and it's a lesson and template for other countries to follow. So if anybody is making this kind of a statement, is actually misleading the nation, misleading the world.
Sir, no, I don't think so. I think everybody is allowed an opinion. It's a free country. The sheer ethos of it being a democratic country means everybody has a right to opinion, including saying that this country's democracy is under threat. Go ahead, sir.
Preeti, you can have we can have a difference of opinion. You can have opinion of your own, and you can put us in the dock. But that doesn't mean that democracy is in danger. Because the fact that you are making this kind of a statement, the fact that you are putting the government in the dock, the fact that you are making this kind of allegation which is baseless, yet no action is being taken against you. You are free to speak whatever you feel like.
But sir, in that context, I'm not free because I'm called anti-India, and that's what you're calling Rahul Gandhi here.
No, see, if you see, there are two things which you need to understand, Preeti. And I think every citizen of this great country understands, barring few, and I must explain to you why I'm making this kind of statement. You can put our government in the dock, and this is what the Honorable Prime Minister has not once stated many times, that you can criticize the government. We are in the government, we are happy to have criticism of you, and if it's a positive criticism, we will even consider that and implement in our policies as well. But when you go to foreign countries and we're there in the parliament, in the press conference, and in every single interaction with the people of that country, and you're making that kind of statement which is against our nation and its baseless, and it's all concocted story which you are making for the world, then it is for the countrymen to decide whether you are making a
so let the
statement
democracy
against the
speak
nation, or you are
louder than making allegations of it being anti-India. Is what what the question is. If the democracy is as strong, it will speak louder. The echoes will drown out anyone suggesting otherwise. Right? But I want to ask you the same question which I began with, and I want to open the debate. But Mr. Syed Zafar Islam, I want to ask you that same question. And that question stems from that fact that if tomorrow Rahul Gandhi is not allowed to speak in Parliament, do his charges stick?
See, Rahul Gandhi ji can speak outside the Parliament. The Parliament is not his Congress Party's office. It is the Business Advisory Committee which decides what topic to be discussed, what to be debated, what issues to be discussed, debated, and it is the advisory committee, Business Advisory Committee, which will discuss, debate, and if there is a meeting of minds, then those issues will be discussed on the floor of the Parliament. So he should put his points through his representative in BSc, and if there is a meeting of minds, anything and everything can be discussed on the floor of the Parliament.
Well, but that's the sad part, and I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava into this conversation. Right. Mr. Islam, I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava in this conversation, because Rahul Srivastava, since the budget session, it doesn't seem there is any meeting of the mind, because the sheer fact when the Parliamentary Affairs Minister himself, Mr. Joshi, has stood up and made these allegations, it seems to suggest that the government doesn't mean business in the House. It's going to be confrontational, and that is what it's happened. I want to ask you, Rahul, but today with what happened, with Rahul Gandhi saying what he did, that tomorrow is going to be the test of democracy. Deft political maneuvering, you would think, because the BJP was very quick, preemptive, to take down Rahul Gandhi, asking for an apology, no work, the House in standstill, and Rahul Gandhi now once again taking the fight back inside Parliament.
Preeti, I think there is politics happening. I think one can say it is deft political maneuver by Rahul Gandhi after facing an attack and not being in Parliament for some reason of his own. And I think your question was absolutely apt, that why should there be a clamor for a member of Parliament, especially who has charged the government with ensuring that democracy is on the decline in the country, not to be in the Parliament. I think he should be in the Parliament. The fact remains that this is yet another element. Like yesterday, opposition marching to the ED office for registration of a case which cannot happen by the laws. Similarly, Rahul Gandhi saying that the government, if it does not allow me, it will be a test for democracy. Primarily because, why I say it, it is absurd statement to make legal officially, because Gaurav has been a member of Parliament, Zafar Islam is a member of Parliament, and I think everybody should know that when a member of Parliament makes a plea to the Speaker Lok Sabha that 4 people have spoken up against me and I want to speak, it is not the government, but it is the Speaker's discretion. So if the permission has to come from the Speaker. Now, if the Speaker doesn't allow, can it be called that there is democracy in peril, or it's a test for democracy? One can't really say. But yes, there is a fact that what Rahul Gandhi is trying to do in a situation which is slightly difficult for him now, with the government having created too many hurdles and too many preemptive strikes by the government and the BJP by asking for an apology. What Rahul Gandhi is trying to do is salvage the situation. And one will have to wait and see that where he takes it up from tomorrow. If tomorrow he does not get a permission from the chair to speak, can he dump it on the government? Will the Congress back it, and to what extent? I think those elements are going to decide to make
Right.
a template and say that I'm not going to be allowed or whether I'm going to be allowed. And then also one point, Preeti, that when you are making an offensive, you cannot fall into the same trap on which you are being attacked on. The BJP has been saying that he's tutored and coached and you make a fumble. I think there is a weakness in the political offensive here.
All right, Sandeep Shastri, I want to bring you in. There are two larger questions and we'll try and move the debate on those right now. Number one, the entire Adani saga, is it going to be Rahul Gandhi's or the Congress's Rafale moment, or is this bigger? Is this different? But, that later. The question I want to ask you is, right before the UK visit of Rahul Gandhi, the entire focus was on Bharat Jodo Yatra. We've done many shows where we've all discussed that possibly there's a change in perception on how people looked at Rahul Gandhi. Do you see the UK visit frittering that away, or do you see it only strengthening?
Preeti, in this whole debate, I think for me, what is critical is, has the political class made a mockery of democracy? We have elected 543 members to Parliament, to our Lok Sabha, and we were looking for a meaningful debate on the floor of the House. And irrespective of which party it is, I think, have they somewhere failed in meeting the aspirations of the people? The House is there to debate public issues. The House is not a place for a prestige fight between parties. A House is not a place to settle, last time you did not allow, this time I will not allow. Last time you raised this issue, today I will embarrass you on this issue. Is the floor of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha for a meaningful debate on people's issues? Or is the floor of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha to settle political scores between parties and score brownie points? I think the political class needs to ask itself whether it is making a mockery of the democratic process, of the whole system of parliamentary democracy that this country has been practicing. I am not blaming any one side, but I am raising this question for the entire political class. As citizens of this country who voted this Lok Sabha, are we getting justice in how the deliberations of this House goes on? Are we making a mockery of the system by seeing an adjournment of the House day after day, and not just in one session? In every session, we find a reason on the basis of which we adjourn the House. So is adjournment of the House the way in which the House is supposed to function? Is that the function of the House? Is that what the members that we have elected want? So all political parties need...
All right, we seem to have lost you, Mr. Shastri, your connection. I guess you're on the go, so we're losing you. But we got the gist, Mr. Shastri, leading us to many, what I would suggest existential questions, or what many would suggest a utopian concept on what the parliament needs to function like. But I'll take it further, and I'll bring in both Gaurav Gogoi and Syed Zafar Islam into this conversation. But Mr. Islam, I'll ask you that question. Because when the Parliamentary Affairs Minister himself, Mr. Joshi, takes such a strong stand, when he's the one raising these issues of an apology with Rahul Gandhi, it does seem that the government of the day has taken such a strong position where the functioning of the House is not on the agenda. And correct me if I'm wrong, that the onus of the functioning of the House lies more on the incumbent government than the opposition.
Well, Preeti, you have to understand that this is an exceptional situation. And the apology has been demanded from somebody who has insulted the nation and the people of this great country. And he owes apology to this nation and people of this country. So it has to be pressed and it has to be asked from Rahul Gandhi to make an apology to the nation, and something which is very common for every parliamentarian, that when they feel that something wrong has been done to their country, they must ask the person who has committed crime to at least apologize. And this is what has happened. Well, once he will apologize, I'm sure
Islam, the opposition can turn around and say the same thing.
In terms of
the matter, the Adani crisis impacts the entire country. We wanted to talk about it. You didn't allow us. But Gaurav Gogoi, tomorrow, instead of making it into a grudge battle.
No, just a second.
Sir, I'll come back to you. Sir, allow me to bring in Mr. Gogoi. I'll come back to you. Yes.
What made you? No. You can't get away by saying that Adani is impacting the nation. Adani
sir, that is what the opposition alleges, sir.
This issue is only pertaining to a businessman. He may be impacted, he may not be impacted.
Opposition's claim
what government has to do with
sir,
that?
it's not me getting away. This is the claim of the opposition. That's what they've been.
That is the. This is absolutely baseless.
Well, but that would require a debate. They want a JPC. But having said that, let me bring in Gaurav Gogoi into this conversation. Gaurav Gogoi, tomorrow, instead of making it into a grudge battle, should maybe Rahul Gandhi apologize and press for a debate on the Adani issue, which you've been wanted, press for a JPC? Put the focus on what you wanted on?
Preeti, just take a moment and reflect on what has happened in Parliament in the last 4 days. The ruling party with its brute majority has allowed one minister after the other to make allegations which they are entitled to against an opposition party leader. And yet when the opposition party leaders or when the person who they have been politically attacking is there in Parliament, wants to speak, wants to state his point, wants to showcase what is the context, they turn the Parliament into a kangaroo court. And please remember that this is not Rahul Gandhi alone. There are many Indians who, along the Bharat Jodo Yatra, echoed with what Rahul Gandhi said, that this is not the country that they grew up in. There's that very famous conversation which took place abroad between an Indian who was living in the UK and between Rahul Gandhi. And the Indian came from a different political background who said that I don't recognize this country. And what was Rahul Gandhi's words to her? He said, speak up, because that's what every Indian has to do. And this is what the ruling party is trying to do. They're trying to silence us. They're trying to intimidate us. They're trying to send law enforcement agencies after us. They're trying to silence every Indian
Gogoi,
who feels like Rahul Gandhi.
Who will turn around, who possibly supported you earlier on what you went, and turn around and say, it is on you. Because don't you agree with what has gone down in the United Kingdom? It's a self-goal. You've taken the focus away from the issue you wanted to talk about, which you say are real issues, which is, taken the focus away from the momentum you thought you built during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Do you not realize you've done it on your, it's your own doing?
Preeti, the reason that Rahul Gandhi ji was invited to all these events abroad was because of the success of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and what the people told to him, what the people conveyed to him, what people conveyed to him in his interactions with him there. They're all emanating from the Bharat Jodo Yatra itself, and democracy and constitutional values being under attack is a clear point that stood out in the Yatra. Now again, I must say that the BJP is entitled to their view. So are we. Let us have an honest and meaningful debate in Parliament. If you are willing to say your view, allow us to say ours. I challenge you. I challenge the BJP to allow Rahul Gandhi ji to speak. I can say with 100% confirmation that they will not, because exactly the point has been proved that this is all a way to obfuscate, to spin, deviate the public and media attention from what the Adani group
in midst
JPC
of all of this, I think Rahul
allow
and I are
me just 1
100%
second
sure what's going to happen
those in the
tomorrow, which is going to be
BJP,
another
to those.
wash out
Can I
where
just say
Parliament was concerned.
one sentence?
Make your point, sir.
Can I just
one
respond?
sentence, Preeti.
Let Mr. Gogoi come and you'll respond after that.
Just remember, Preeti, can I just...
Sir, yes, go ahead.
Just one sentence, Preeti. Just remember what Prime Minister Modi said in one of his speeches abroad, that before 2014, people felt that they committed a sin in their past life to have been born in India. पिछले जन्म में कोई पाप किया होगा अगर हम भारत में जन्म हमने लिया है. ये बातें प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने कही है. अब इससे ज्यादा शर्मनाक बात क्या हो सकती है? मोदी जी के लिए मापदंड अलग है. मोदी जी does not need to apologize, but this entire charade that they're doing is entirely just to defend Adani Group.
Can I just respond to that?
Yes, Mr. Islam, please respond, and I'll bring in another.
He has spoken enough. See, first of all, what Modi ji had spoken in 2014, I think Mr. Gogoi must go and watch that video again. He must understand the perspective, the context he is speaking. You guys are responsible for that. He is referring to UPA 2 and what people's experience and what
But
they are
Mr.
hearing
Islam,
outside the India.
Sir, put your hand
outside
on your
India
heart and you
India,
tell me
that
before.
there is
Sir, may I ask
just
you
a
a
second,
question?
don't interrupt.
I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. But I want to ask you a question.
No.
Put your hand on your
No,
heart
let
and you
it
tell
go.
me, sir, before 2014,
Yeah.
were you not proud to be an Indian? Sir, everybody's
No,
proud to
let me-
be an
let me
Indian.
tell
No
you
matter
exactly
what the politics
in
or...
the context with,
Right. Okay, give your
Preeti,
context.
I understand what you are trying to drive the point, but what the Honorable Prime Minister had spoken at that point in time, in certain context, what was the context and perspective he was referring to, that every Indian has been let down by UPA 2 because everybody feels that the government of fraud and fraudsters. There is a scam every day. There is a policy paralysis everywhere. There is a commission, Natrajan, Fatrajan, everywhere. You have to give 20% commission. 10 Janpath, Kolgud going to several banks, and the loan is being distributed as if they are personal coffers. They are distributing it in 6 years. From 1947 to 2006, the balance sheet of the banking sector was 18 lakh. In 6 years, they ballooned it to 54 lakh
But
three
sir,
times.
okay,
because there
I
was a
understand
commission
your
which is coming to the party and
But
party
sir, I
people.
completely
And
understand
everybody
your
was making
context.
money.
Okay.
In that context, he said, in that context, a common man on the street made that statement that why I was born.
No, sir, I understand your context, but you put that context in what you are saying.
Mr. Islam, he was expressing, and that
sir,
is what
your
he
context is
referring
taken.
to.
Mr. Islam, your context is taken,
He was
sir.
referring to people's statement.
But, sir, the context is also of what you are blaming Rahul Gandhi today, which is to say it on foreign soil. You don't say it on foreign soil, no. You come back and say it in India. But when you're on foreign soil, you say we are proud to be Indian. That's what the point that Congress is making. It's the same point you're making, sir, today, to be honest.
No, but these are two different...
You don't insult your country on foreign soil.
No, these are two different... These are two different...
I understand, sir, both of you will view it from political
He was talking about
perspective.
people's opinion and addressing the people, but the situation has changed, and he was saying that visit India. And today, whether it's Gogoi, whether it's me, whether it's you, or whether it's Rahul, or whether Mr. Shastri, today if you visit any other country outside the country, you feel you are respected because there is a value of your passport, there is a value of you as a nation, and people have recognized that there is a leader who prioritizes national interests over every other thing.
Well,
that's why he has been able to safeguard the interests of our nation.
Okay, I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava again, and I want to put the
why
focus back on what we were speaking about. And Rahul Srivastava, I'll bring you in on this. Like I said, a week ago, Rahul, every day we were talking about the big Adani debate and the blow-up in Parliament. We've talked ad nauseum, was this a self-goal or not a self-goal? But I'll ask you the question which I asked Mr. Shastri. Do you somewhere down the line feel that Rahul Gandhi has frittered away possibly the change in perception he had gained or earned during the Bharat Jodo Yatra?
Preeti, the idea behind Bharat Jodo Yatra, it is still very unclear by Rahul Gandhi or the Congress what was the idea. It was to build a nation, bring together a nation. It did not make a large political template. So I think the elections will tell whether it did build a narrative. Because he went with building a narrative, Bharat Jodo Yatra. He thinks that he has added to that narrative with his UK visit, and what he's doing right now is adding to that. I think the real story which is emerging from this session till now, all that which has gone wrong, you have just narrated it. And I think amidst all this, the two people, I mean, me and you and Mr. Shastri, can continue pondering what has been gains and losses to the public. I think Zafar and Tarun can tomorrow have a Kinu juice drink in the morning together and smile at the situation, because see, who are the two winners? The two winners is, one winner is the BJP, which was trying to project Mr. Narendra Modi as the global leader with India as a superpower. And in that comes Rahul Gandhi attacking the government at foreign soil. So the BJP uses that strong, potent nationalistic agenda to say that you apologize. On the other hand, today the TMC had protested inside the house with black ribbons tied on their mouth. There was a human chain formed by opposition outside. We are not reporting it. It's not in news. What are we talking about is Rahul Gandhi as the principal voice of the opposition. So it is the BJP and the Rahul Gandhi who have become eventually the news. Rest, everything is not mattering. I think that's the setting up of the battle, which one should be, because Prime Minister wants to have a nationalistic agenda, global superpower, global leader for 2024. And Rahul Gandhi is also doing the same.
Well, ultimately, who's the collateral? It's the citizen, because it's another parliamentary washout where this reconvening of the budget session was concerned. Final words coming in from both our other panelists. Just for thought, Mr. Islam, I want to ask you, let's say Rahul Gandhi tomorrow issues an apology. Will you agree on a debate on Adani then?
See, again, first, our demand is as a citizen of this country, not as a parliamentarian, not as a minister, not as a party member, as a citizen, that he should say sorry to the nation. As far as any debate, discussion, deliberation, or what issues to be picked up to be discussed on the floor of the parliament, it is the responsibility of the business advisory committee. There, Congress party through its representative can propose any issues which they feel like that needs to be discussed.
But it hasn't happened in the past. I wish it was that simple, but it's quite not. But
represented by many countries.
But all right,
so they can decide if there is a meeting of minds. We are all set to.
Well, the meeting of minds is not that simple, Mr. Islam. You know that better. But Mr. Gogoi, I'll bring you in on this again. Your final comments. The same question I'd ask you. What does it come off eventually? Because Bharat Jodo Yatra, there was a certain perception that you wanted to build on it. Do you see somewhere down the line losing that with all that's going on? Self-goal, many would suggest.
I don't think so, Preeti. As I said, the Adani issue was a key part of the discussions during Bharat Jodo Yatra. It was a key part of the first part of the budget session, which took place a few weeks ago, and it remains to be an integral part of this discussion. In all of this, the BJP's attempt is, let us keep discussing Rahul Gandhi so that we don't need to discuss Adani. Why should there not be a probe? If the Supreme Court feels that there needs to be an investigation, then why not listen to the opposition party's demand for a JPC probe? When it was a UPA government, we allowed a JPC to be constituted on numerous issues. Why doesn't the BJP have the same confidence and allow a JPC? The JPC will have their own members. So if they are so sure about Mr. Adani and the fact that there is no link between Prime Minister Modi's foreign visits and Mr. Adani's global contracts, then please by all means have a JPC. As I said, I challenge the BJP to allow Rahul Gandhi because they don't believe in democracy. Again, you listen to the BJP spokesperson. Only if we stick to the script given by the BJP, only then they will let us speak. So if you want to have an independent view, if you want to have an individual opinion, if you want to have a voice of dissent, our mics will be turned off. Only if we praise, only if we follow their diktat, our mics will be turned on. This is exactly what we've been telling the people about, that this is no longer a parliament that represents the people of India. This is a parliament that represents the interests of the Prime Minister.
Ultimately, politics is a battle of perception. Who's winning it, the BJP or the Congress? We leave it for our viewers to decide. Thank you, all three gentlemen, for joining us on this debate. I'm sure we'll be discussing the same tomorrow evening, but no, we won't be discussing the same tomorrow evening because all eyes, viewers, would be on the India Today conclave in its 20th edition. With that, I want to quickly move on to our other big developing story, and that is the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister's wife has made a startling complaint in Mumbai against a bookie's daughter in a case involving allegation and threat and conspiracy. Amrita Fadnavis alleged that Anishka claimed to be a designer of clothes, jewelry and footwear and tried to bribe her by offering her 1 crore to clear her father's name from a police case.
Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis' wife Amrita Fadnavis has filed a case against a top bookie's daughter for alleged blackmail. Amrita Fadnavis in her complaint claims bookie Anil Jaisinghani's daughter Anishka Jaisinghani first met her in 2015. Anishka again got in touch with Amrita in 2021, saying she has lost her mother and wanted to release a book on her. Anishka allegedly kept meeting Amrita Fadnavis, claiming to be a designer. She allegedly asked Amrita to wear her clothing and jewelry designed by her. According to the FIR, Anishka, a resident of Ulhasnagar, Maharashtra, requested Amrita Fadnavis on multiple occasions to help in closing cases against her father and allegedly offered a bribe of 1 crore rupees. Amrita Fadnavis in her complaint claims Anishka also proposed a plan to raid bookies based on her father's information and to make money. At this point, Amruta Fadnavis says she blocked all communication with Anushka. Amruta then allegedly started receiving edited videos from unknown numbers where Anushka is seen giving her gifts, filling cash in bags and handing over the bag to Amruta Fadnavis' staff. After Amruta filed a complaint, the police reached bookie Anil Jaisinghani's residence. The police took Anushka into custody on Thursday. Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis called the whole drama a bid to ruin his political career.
माझ्या पत्नीने अशा प्रकारचा एक FIR फाईल केलाय की तिच्यावर दबाव आणून माझ्या माध्यमातून काही काम करून घेण्याकरता त्या ठिकाणी प्रयत्न झाला. पहिले पैसे ऑफर करण्यात आले, मग ब्लॅकमेल करण्याचा प्रयत्न झाला.
Sources tell India Today Anushka Jaisinghani is a law graduate. Her father Anil Jaisinghani has multiple cases of betting and cheating registered against him in Maharashtra, Goa and even Assam. With Divyesh Singh in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
With the news from Maharashtra, thousands of farmers are walking now from Nashik to Mumbai. They want the Maharashtra government to fulfill what are long pending demands. The farmers have listed 12 or rather 14 demands that include good price for crops. Here's a detailed report.
Nearly 5 years after their long march, Maharashtra's farmers are back on the road again. Thousands led by the All India Kisan Sabha are walking from Nasik to Mumbai. Many more from across the state are also joining in as the march inches closer to Mumbai.
महाराष्ट्र का किसान परेशान है. जिस प्रकार की राजनीतिक अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक नौटंकी महाराष्ट्र में शुरू है, उसका सबसे बुरा असर श्रमिक वर्ग पे और किसानों पे हुआ है. बुनियादी जो मांगे हैं उनको अनदेखा किया गया है. मरने के लिए किसानों को छोड़ दिया गया है. किसानों की ओर देखो, इनको रिलीफ दो. अगर आप नहीं देंगे तो हम आपको भी रिलीफ देने वाले नहीं है. हम चल के आएंगे, लड़ेंगे.
Farmers have prepared a 14-point charter. Their demands include subsidy of 600 rupees per quintal on onion, waiver of high electricity bills, compensation for crops damaged by unseasonal rain, steady prices for soyabean, cotton, arhar and gram crops, old pension scheme for government employees, recruitment to fill government vacancies and regularization of contract employees. A farmers' delegation met Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis on Thursday in a bid to work out a compromise.
इस सारी विषय में चर्चा करके हम बहुत ही जल्द इसमें सॉल्यूशन निकालेंगे, जिसके माध्यम से हमें लगता है कि लॉन्ग मार्च वाले हमारी चर्चा करेंगे.
The protest march meanwhile continues. The long walk in rising heat is no easy task. Many farmers have had to take treatment in hospitals along the route, where incidentally the staff are on a strike seeking the old pension scheme.
ये हमारा हक है. जब हम 58 साल के हो जाते हैं, हम रिटायर होते हैं तो हम काम करने के काबिल नहीं होते. तो जब हम काबिल नहीं होंगे तो हम क्या करेंगे? क्या खोदेंगे, रास्ता खोदेंगे या खड्डे खोदेंगे और तब हम पैसे कमाएंगे? ये हमारी हक की लड़ाई है, उसके लिए हम लड़ रहे हैं. यदि एक को न्याय दिया जा रहा है तो दूसरों को क्यों नहीं?
With state elections in 2024, the Eknath Shinde government will be wary of upsetting the farmers, given that they could be pitted against a formidable alliance of Uddhav Sena, NCP and the Congress.
Somewhere they have started to feel that government is insensitive to their demands. Only when citizens living in the city of Mumbai is inconvenienced, the government is concerned of meeting their demands and listening to them. And hence, this is not the first long march which is going towards Mumbai. There have been few more, and in the coming years there will be few more. With camera person Sahil Chavan, Mustafa Sheikh for India Today.
Well, time for a quick break. On the other side, what to expect from the India Today Conclave 2023. We are viewers in our 20th edition this year. That's on the other side. Stay tuned.
Do you think all this will fit in?
Sorted for the week.
Get long-lasting freshness and a lot more intelligence with built-in refrigerators from Hefala. Welcome to the future. Hefala, let's reimagine.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Justice Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, Amit Shah, Sachin Tendulkar and Ram Charan. The India Moment. India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India. The India Moment.
Kerala public health. All political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of News Today, but we leave you with this. For 2 decades, the India Today Conclave has been a global diagnostic featuring eminent minds and thought-provoking discussions. It was questioned conventional wisdom, predicted the next big thing. This year, the biggest thought platform of India is back for its 20th anniversary edition, where innovators, thought leaders, impact creators, policy makers and pathfinders who have driven change will share the story of the India moment.
भारत माता की वंदे वंदे वंदे।
With round 1 of a massive election this year in the bag, and with the Bharatiya Janata Party planting a firm flag in the northeast, the Prime Minister is bristling with a signature energy. On his first big public outing in the wake of a triple win, Narendra Modi is all set to be the big showstopper at the 20th India Today Conclave. The Indian Prime Minister is no stranger to India's biggest and most prestigious global thought platform and has headlined past editions of the conclave.
कोई नेशनल पुलिस मेमोरियल नहीं था।
कि हमारे देश में बहुत सामर्थ्य है अगर सही ढंग से हम उस दिशा में थोड़ा चल पड़े।
आवश्यकता है एक प्रॉपर लीडरशिप की, एक विजन की और बिना स्वार्थ को देश के लिए कुछ करने की प्रेरणा जगाने की। तो मैं समझता हूं ये चीजें कठिन नहीं है।
न्यू इंडिया के सपनों को साकार करने में हम जुट जाएं। सपना भी आपका, संकल्प भी आपका, समय भी आपका, समर्पण भी आपका और सिद्धि भी आपकी। न्यू इंडिया सपनों से हकीकत की ओर बढ़ता हुआ भारत। साथियों, आज तक अच्छे सवाल पूछने के लिए जाना जाता है, तो जैसे सबसे तेज आपकी टैगलाइन है, तो इसी तरह से सबसे तेज हमारी सरकार की लाइफलाइन है।
But this one will be by far his most anticipated. With the road to 2024 now fully open and the battle well and truly begun, the Prime Minister will be on stage to share his vision as he gets his political army battle ready for its third big national contest. Setting the stage for Prime Minister will be his most trusted Lieutenant, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who will headline day one of the event with a vision for nationalism.
हो सकता है हम गलत बोले, आप तो न्यूट्रल चैनल माने जाते हो।
माने क्यों जाते हैं, है नहीं क्या?
मैं क्यों इतना अभी सर्टिफिकेट देने में देरी है, मगर माने तो जाते ही हो।
After 2 decades of agenda-setting events, this year's conclave theme is the India moment. With India slated to become a magnetic news center and its stewardship of G20 this year offering a big opportunity for it to imprint its agenda in an emerging multipolar world. This year's conclave will reflect that. With sessions on India's most pressing security challenges, featuring Chief of the Army Staff General Manoj Pandey and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, to India's most fiery political warriors in a supercharged atmosphere, Smriti Irani, Maua Moitra, Kiran Rijiju, to the big debate on our judiciary, featuring Honorable Chief Justice of India, to the man who created a billion India moments with his bat, Sachin Tendulkar, and the superstar who has danced India into America's living rooms and biggest award ceremonies, Ram Charan. From the star daughter of a superstar mother to a star enjoying a new wave of fame and fortune, the conclave will be a stage for pioneering women brave hearts from Iran and Afghanistan, the superstar mayor of the burning ruins of Ukraine's capital, Harvard's most globally sought-after rockstar political philosopher, to Harvard's superstar geneticist with a finger on our future, David Sinclair. These and several more sessions featuring the leaders of the industry, from edutech to artificial intelligence, from India Incorporated to social media warfare. After 20 years of setting India's mindspace ablaze with ideas, strap in for the biggest of them all. India Today Conclave 2023 on 17th and 18th of March in New Delhi. For more information and to register, log on to indiatodayconclave.com. See you there.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the man behind the India moment. The unmissable 20th edition of India Today Conclave 2023. Presenting sponsor RP Sanjeev Goenka Group.
Yashwant Deshmukh first, because he's the one who's got the data and the numbers. He does a daily, weekly tracker, and you saw how during the course of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, relative to base, Rahul Gandhi's popularity went up. After he made these 3 speeches in different places in the United Kingdom, has there been an impact on Rahul Gandhi's ratings? Are they holding firm where they were? Have they started sliding?
He is holding up, and his numbers are inching a bit north, so that should be good news for his strategies, if I may say so. But as always, there is always, on the other hand, kind of a scenario. What the data is also suggesting is that his numbers are going up in the same sphere of the traction, opposition voters traction. It's not the swing vote which are going towards him at this point of time. So he is still on the recovery zone where he has to match up the 20% vote share that his party has even in the worst of the time, and his numbers have been trailing at 50% of his party's own vote share. So he's around 15% at this point of time, and he is going up ever since the Bharat Yatra began. But my concern at some point of time for his strategist in that way is that it might look like that anti-BJP sentiment vote might are very happy with his statement overseas, but that strategy is not electorally viable. Electorally viable strategy would be when he comes across as a person or says something which is liked by the center of the universe, the large middle of the ground voter, which is called the swing voter, and which is right now in favor of Modi and the BJP.
You make an important point that it's the voter who helped the Congress cross 200 seats in 2009, the voter in the middle who's not pro-Hindutva.
See competition in this space, because while you've got investment in and you're launching products and you've got a good team, but there are significant competitors like Kinetic, like Ola, even the incumbent players, legacy fuel players like Bajaj Auto. How do you see yourself locking horns with them?
Well, it's a competitive market.